Yeah, well, I think the very simple point of it, which is like, even though, which is like how to say, even, which is like how a young boy would say, which is like how to be going back to school. Even though this was in the middle of the summer, and of course that was the year which really was in the summer of 2007. Of course, that was a very simple moment here. Of course, and actually, even though that was like probably going to be way, way, way back, which is like when my father was planning to close down the office, and so that was like planning to shut down the office. So anyway, when he really was planning on shutting down the office, because I just really never thought there was going to be a very simple thing, because I wasn't sure about what was I doing. And so anyway, so as soon, which is like when my father really was planning to shut down the office, and so there was like a very simple moment first when Tommy had told my father, which was like there was going to be probably very simple of a scout, and so they were was going to be location scouts, which is for shooting this movie, which would be pretty Girdwood Fine Arts Camp production. So I just never, I just never really even thought about, which was like I wasn't sure about anything, which was like how to be in a very simple movie, which I had never thought about, which was like how Mr. How David was really, when I heard that David was going to be directing this, and then I knew that Mr. Chris Watson was going to be in it, and so my thought really was that I just really wasn't sure about how I thought about making this movie, even though this was just only a movie screen production. And then so what I really even did, which is like how I just really did not like have any symbol chance, which was like able to think anything about it, because even though even though I was nearly only in Anchorage, which was like for the middle of summer, even though when my father was planning to close down the office, and so when my dad had just nearly had even said, which is like, hey, probably you shouldn't do this, just because when probably shouldn't, when he had heard this from Tommy, and nearly, which is probably way on back, so I think so far, even though between with Tommy and even though probably with myself, which is like started probably even said about, which is nearly like trying to have me thought about, which was like have me thought about doing this movie, which was called Time Twister. And so I just really, I just wasn't sure about doing it, or seeing as a young boy would be like so much and be like worrying about it, which is like would be worrying, which is like planning on going back to school. And so when I was nearly trying to be up for it, and so I just nearly wouldn't start by saying this was even simple. And so, well, that was really hit for me, which was like being cut. And so from here now, which is like there I wasn't doing it, and so I was shooting Time Twister and most of those days, and finally when it was over, I was being scheduled, which was like going back to school, and I was really just completing being, which is like one tired guy. But I don't know, just said with Time Twister, it was really fun.